can reach 110, 120, depending or more, depending of how much additional extra air you introduce during the intake. How? With a supercharger or with a turbocharger? Yes, with external element that forced extra air in the combustion chamber. Of course, in order to support that extra amount of air entering in the combustion chamber, you need that the seal internally in the combustion chamber be perfect. What is the meaning of that? Yes, you need to be 100% sure that the seal in between piston rings and cylinder wall is perfect, and you need to be 100% sure that the head gasket be properly installed, and you need that the valves close properly. Remember, what is the simple definition of an engine? An internal combustion engine is an equipment designed to burn air. Yes, and you remember the air ratio formula, the air ratio for diesel engines. You remember in gasoline is 14.7 to 1. This is the stoichiometric ratio. In diesel engines, if the engine is naturally aspirated, is 22 to 1. But if the engine is supercharged, is 60 to 1. But in some cases, if the engine is supercharged, extra charged, is 160 to 1. It's a lot. It's a lot of air per the same amount of fuel. Yeah, we are going to verify what happened in that situation when I have an engine supercharged. What is the meaning of that? In the combustion chamber, enter the air at atmospheric pressure. Enter the air at atmospheric pressure, no extra pressure, normally. Okay, if I have that cylinder, the intake valves are over there. This is the air filter, and those are the exhaust valves. The exhaust valves are communicated with the exhaust pipe and goes out through the exhaust pipe. Alright? This is the cylinder, and the intake depends only of the quality of the air filter. For that reason, right now, I am going to talk about the air filter. How important is the air filter? It's critical in any type of internal combustion engine, gas or diesel. The air filter is critical because depending on the condition of the air filter, more air and clean air enter in the combustion chamber. Important. In the aftercooler, what happened? Or intercooler, what happened? The temperature of the air decreased. How? In some cases, if it's in your truck, it's because you have a radiator. The air pass over there, and internally the serpentine with the air super compressed, the temperature decrease a little. Alright, this is the aftercooler or intercooler in your truck. In your boat, what happened? The air internally in the serpentine is surrounded by salt water, and the salt water decrease a little the temperature of the air, and the air enter in the combustion chamber at appropriate temperature, around 1000 degrees Fahrenheit in order to produce an excellent explosion. Alright, this is the hot side. This is the hot side of the turbo. This is the turbine that is moved by the gases, the smoke. The gases of the engine produces on top on the exhaust manifold enter in the hot side of the turbo and spin the turbine. Alright, when the turbine is spinning, exactly the hot gases, the gases enter over there, and the excess of gases goes out through the exhaust pipe. Enter in that, like this video. The exhaust gases enter over there and go down to the yellow elbow. Okay, exactly the same. And in the middle, here we have the oil. The oil enters over there and goes out and return to the oil pan. This is the area of lubrication because the turbo have two turbines, one in each side, and the shaft in the middle have bearings and seals. Both bearings are lubricated with the oil coming from the engine. That oil enter at the pressure of the engine, 60 psi, circulate, lubricate the bearings, and return into the oil pan. And now we are going to talk about the supercharger. The supercharger is a blower, and this is the typical blower with the two roots or two elements that compress the air from the ambient temperature, atmospheric pressure, and send the air full compressed into the combustion chamber. Remember, before the air entering the combustion chamber, pass for the intercooler or aftercooler. Those elements are hollows in order to keep the temperature of those elements as low as possible. Okay, and those elements are correct. The shaft of one of these is connected with the gear of the crankshaft, and exactly that's the input. The air filter normally is located over there. That's the input of air at atmospheric pressure, and the air is compressed because both gears compress the air. Correct. The air is compressed. That's the input. That's the intake. The air exactly. And the air is full compressed, and this is the output. This is the output with high pressure. This is the output that enter normally in the combustion chamber. Of course, in between this area at the input of the intake manifold, you have the intercooler or aftercooler. Okay, the air goes out through this area at high pressure and high temperature, and this is basically the supercharger. It's a blower. I explained to you before. It's a blower that in some cases is electrical, 12 volts, 24 volts DC. It's not recommended. And in other cases is connected by belt with the crankshaft like this, or in some cases is connected gear with the gear of the crankshaft and the gear of the camshaft. The air filter increases the efficiency of the engine. Of course, the efficiency of the diesel engine depends on the amount of air that you introduce in the combustion chamber. My friends, if you have the air filter clogged with the excessive sand or particles, if one of those particles enter inside of the combustion chamber, you can destroy the turbine in the compressor. The compressor is the cold area. If those blades are broken, like the picture, those pieces of metal, small pieces of metal, enter in the combustion chamber and destroy the combustion chamber, like this example. You see that piston, the head of the piston is completely destroyed because pieces of metal enter in the combustion chamber. And you can also destroy the valves. It's catastrophic. For that reason, be careful with the air filter. And also, it's an important recommendation if you are working in the engine room of an engine, replacing an air conditioning equipment or plumbing. The recommendation is you have contractors in the engine room, remove the air filter and cover that area with blue tape or plastic in order to avoid that somebody introduce metals, screws, washers in that area. If one piece of metal enter when the engine starts, suction those pieces of metals and destroy the engine immediately. Be careful with that. This topic is scavenging. We are going to check what is the meaning of scavenging. Scavenging is basically clean the area of the combustion chamber. Remove the excess of gases. You remember in two-stroke engines, the scavenging is produced when the fresh air enters in the combustion chamber and pushes the smoke out. When the fresh air enters in the combustion chamber and pushes the smoke out. That process, because remember, in two-stroke engines, intake and exhaust occur at the same time. Intake of fresh mixture and exhaust occur at the same time. And after that, compression and explosion in the second stroke. In the first stroke, intake and exhaust. In the second stroke, compression and power. Alright? Yes, in the first stroke, during the intake, the fresh air enter and push the smoke out. The name of that process is scavenging. That explanation was in the first chapters of this book, and was related with two-stroke diesel engines and gas engines in both of them.